everybody. Welcome back to another brand spanking new episode of You Haven't Seen That Podcast, or YHST for short. I'm Isaac.
I'm Elva.
And this is a show where we cover movies on the growing list of films that has people asking us the question, You haven't seen that? Intermission edition. Oh, she did it to the beat this time. Okay, record scratch. Welcome back to the show, guys. Thank you for joining us. Another intermission edition. We will get back to our YHST list very soon. People have spoken. We will listen eventually. But we have some fun.
Get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. There's some fun movies to talk about, which are Freakier Friday and Wepaons. So, as per the usual, at the top of these things, spoiler alert, duh. But if you're looking for spoiler-free, bite-sized movie review versions in video format, you can go to our social media at
YHST Pod
on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And in those places, it's a nice little edited, visually pleasing package of spoiler-free reviews. So enjoy those, spread them around, comment on them. We highly appreciate it. And support us in those ways where you're liking and sharing and subscribing and following and notification bells and all the fun things.
Yeah, comment on them. I want to hear your thoughts.
Exactly. And if you want to support us in, the old-fashioned way of throwing us a few bucks for a bucket of popcorn or a soda pop or anything like that, you could do that on Venmo at
YHST Pod.
And we appreciate any and all of the things. And we thank everyone who has been supporting us so far. It has been a ton of fun. We love you. We mean it. This is another relatively short episode where we will not have news at the beginning, but you can go to the aforementioned social media pages in order to look for any of the news things that we might gotten around to. And we are not having trivia in this episode. We apologize. We will get back to it soon. It's been a very busy couple of days. In fact, at the time of this recording, in 2 days, these things drop on Thursdays, and in 2 days, we're having our Hype Attack party. And if you're listening to this on Thursday, hit us up at the Hype Attack comment section, DMs, and throw some questions out there that we can possibly ask our live audience. That's right. We're having a live audience backyard party. It's going to be a ton of fun. Will we do that for YHST? Probably not. I can't see that being done for a movie podcast.
We'll rent out a theater and watch a movie with you guys.
Oh, you know what? We have been talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days, very soon, that's going to happen for like a big movie, probably the next Terrifier or something like that. We'll rent out the whole thing. All of our YHST buddies will all get together and we'll have a blast.
Yeah.
We'll play Mario Kart after. Or
RSVP.
That's yet to be determined. But anyhow, we are starting with Freakier Friday. Alva, take it away.
So Freakier Friday is back, and I was so excited about this movie. I had to rewatch the first one.
Oh God, I thought you were gonna sing the entire review. And I like when Jamie Lee Curtis did the thing, and she had the hair and boobs. Lindsay Lohan didn't look so bad. The girls' performances were pretty good too.
And I'm on a surfboard. I'm just going. Woo.
Stop! This will not be the podcast. All right.
See what you started.
Right. So when did the first Freaky Friday come out?
It was 22 years ago.
22 years ago. I'm doing Liam Neeson again.
So
how old were you then? 13?
22.
12?
No, 2013. I was 14.
Yeah. What a movie.
And I enjoyed it.
We watched it. We rewatched that recently.
I rewatched it, yeah, because...
What a 2000s movie.
Oh, definitely, 100% 2000s movie. So the only reason I rewatched Freaky Friday was because last month they released the song Take Me Away. It's from Pink Slip. It's the band that's in the movie.
Okay, yeah.
And they...
I knew that. I'm a Freaky Friday freak.
Anyways, they re-released it, and I listened to it, and I was just like, I gotta watch the first one.
Okay.
Plus,
I watched the second half of it with you.
Plus, I was just like, Freakier Friday is coming out. Might as well get a little refresh, even though I kind of know. But this one, Freakier Friday, did not disappoint.
You know what? It didn't disappoint.
So as for any sequels or reboots in any Disney franchise, I always have high hopes for them. And I don't really want to...
You have high hopes?
High hopes, yeah.
Okay.
I always want them to do good because they're kind of like my nostalgic movies and stuff like that.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Any reboots.
But your expectations are...
Yeah. So for this one, besides watching the trailer, besides trying not to follow through much with the press and everything like that, because this one did have a lot of press. Mm-hmm. Usually when I see a movie that has a lot of press, I feel like they do that just to get butts in the seats.
But you're not afraid of like spoiling the story or anything like it's a fun, silly movie.
Yeah, it's a fun, silly movie. Yeah, exactly like that. The only thing with this Freakier Friday, it has a twist. Instead of just mom and daughter switching, it's mom, soon to be stepmom, stepdaughter, grandma, and granddaughter switching.
What? How many fortune cookies can swap people? I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting.
Spoiler alert.
I was expecting that, but I also did enjoy they take a different take to it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you go, look, it's a body swap movie. Like, by the way, flashback to our very first episode, other than the intro, we covered a body swap movie with Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman. You just suspend disbelief. You go, okay, just do the thing, get the swappy done. And this one is done with actor Vanessa Bayer from SNL, who's fucking creepily hilarious. Her ability to just have dead eyes and smile at you and deliver those lines is so fucking funny. Oh my God. A lot of SNL people in here, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And I kind of enjoyed it because it gave you that free little bit of improv, but the correct kind of comedy in there.
Right.
It was perfect because it hit.
You know what I didn't think I was going to see in 2025? An early 2000s feel movie. And I didn't think that it was going to work. Like you said, we rewatched. We rewatched. You were rewatching the first Freaky Friday, and I sat down and went, "Oh, Freaky Friday, let's see." And I was like, "Wow, it's so silly." By the way, I felt really bad after the movie. I was like, "How old is Jamie Lee Curtis now?" And or how old was she when she did the first Freaky Friday? I totally thought she was like in her 50s. She was 45 or something.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I unfortunately aged her up in my head.
Yeah,
it's that thing where when you're a kid, everyone else is older.
Oh yeah, you make them seem like you add 10, 20 years to what they actually are, and you're like, oh no.
She's still a bombshell. The tone of the first one is just so silly, and I enjoy it, but then a little bit of his nostalgia, that feel of the early 2000s movie. So going into this one, I'm not the target audience, but I still really enjoyed it. But the obvious parts where I was like, okay, it's very 2000s, was in the type of comedy that it had. And some of it worked, but where I was really surprised and impressed by and did not expect was to get choked up on the emotional parts.
Why?
I am saying that into a microphone directly about the Freaky Friday movie.
Okay. So
here's my man card.
Thank you. I was not expecting to get choked up that hard. So I saw this movie twice. Once with you and once with my friend Rachel. The second time it hit harder, and I thought it wasn't going to hit harder because I saw it already, so I kind of knew what to expect. Here's where this is going. Here's exactly at this point in this movie is where it gets all emotional. No, tell me why I even let them go. Let the tears fall faster.
But when we got done seeing the movie properly on Friday, oh my God, imagine body swapping. Jesus Christ, the movies before last that we covered with Eric and Christina, shout out Little Ones Big Spirits, was together. So there's the body merging, the body swapping. Jesus Christ, what's next? Another human centipede? What the fuck?
Could be, to be honest. Don't put it against A24 or Neon.
Oh, I would fucking be down for that. But sorry, I'm getting far away from it. But what was so fucking funny though is after we saw the first one and we both admitted that we teared up, and you even turned to me I have some unched tears, I don't want to let them fall. That when you're very, very fucking braggadocious, you go, yeah, I'm going to see it with Rachel, and I'm totally not going to. Now that I know where all the emotional parts are, I'm not going to cry. Flash cut to, I saw the movie the second time, I cried even more. I was like, yeah, dude, I saw the Avengers Endgame 3 times, and I sobbed hard on the third one. The third watch.
I'm pretty sure if I see this movie a third time, I'm going to just be walking out with mascara going down my cheeks.
You should go take your cousin and go see it, Crystal.
Oh, yeah. But the original cast is back. Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan.
Chad Michael Murray.
You do have Christina Vidal, Mark Harmon.
Mark Harmon, yeah. And Stephen Trebolasky. Love me some Steve Trebolasky's.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised to see that Manny Jacinto, dear God, that guy is gorgeous.
I think we both looked at each other when he popped up and we're just like,
Something popped up. Everyone will have last seen him in Disney's. I bet he had a contract going on. The Acolyte. And everyone's like, yeah, I'll follow him. Once that reveal, the mask reveal, spoiler alert.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That definitely. I saw his name pop up like with this movie. I was like, what is he doing? And I was like, is he the love interest? And I was just like, I don't think so. Turns out.
Also, for reference, we were first introduced to him in The Good Place.
Yes.
ABC's The Good Place.
Yeah. So I did like this take on this movie.
Go on.
How it went from original Freaky Friday was the mom is getting remarried after the dad died. So this is Lindsay Lohan's character, Anna, getting married to Manny Jacinto's character, Eric. But instead of her being the one that loses a partner, it's he lost his partner.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the beginning of the movie, I also did like that dynamic of they made her like the single mom and that she can do everything. Like she left the dream that she basically how it all ended. Like she played the gig at the House of Blues. 22 years later, became
a responsible adult.
She became a responsible adult.
And looks great.
Works in the music industry. Left the band. It kind of gives you like she did continue with the music after the House of Blues thing. They did get their record deal and everything like that after, which made me happy that they did it that way instead of having to big old flashback to like, here's what we've been doing and now I'm doing this. It's just like,
yeah, that's a good point.
It was like the opening scene. It was like amazing, but you also knew it was like just all in her head.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like she's like still living her dream, but because she now is a parent, she has to be like, I have to sacrifice one thing to make sure.
I love the little comedic beat that Jamie Lee Curtis's character Tess has a podcast.
Oh my God.
I love her, man. Like she's a hip psychiatrist and she's got her own podcast.
Well, what did she call her?
Oh shit! I wish I remember.
It was like the claws.
Oh, I wish I remember. You know, one of the standout roles, though, I give a lot of credit to is Julia Butters, who played Harper, Lindsay Lohan's character's daughter. I was racking my brain because I am that person. I go, who the fuck did I see her from? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
She was that little girl actress in the cowboy setting.
The first time I saw her was in American Housewife. She was the little OCD Anna Cat. She had OCD and everything like that. And she, in that role, has kind of like that same humor that this character has.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I mentioned these actresses, right? Harper's stepsister is Lily, who's played by Sophia Hammonds. Is I'm thinking, okay, it's Disney. It's got this like silly comedy humor or whatever. Obviously, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are going to carry the emotional weight, should there be any. And so I'm not really relying on the younger girls to do any of the heavy lifting. Obviously, as you see in the trailers, it's the younger girls that get swapped out for the mom and grandma. And they played it up well. They played it up like just fine enough. And it was more of Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis getting to play and have a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
But what impressed the shit out of me, it took me by surprise, were the acting abilities of Julia and Sophia as the stepsisters when those moments fucking needed it. And because it came out of nowhere following the very silly humor, I was stricken with feeling. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I had a stepsister. What was it line? She's like, we're sisters. I'm like, yeah, we are.
I'll be wherever my sister's at.
That's what it was. God damn it.
No, but also I like how
it's that and Wicked.
Yeah.
Here's my man card again.
I did like how when the morning of they find out they switch bodies and everything. And of course you have you're first going with the young girls, right? And then finally like Anna and Tess, they know that they already switched bodies.
Yeah, I love that little familiarity.
They're
Try that again. Try that before. It looked like they all had a bunch of fun. I imagine the director, whoever, is just like feeding them lines and they're letting them improv or whatever. That not opening scene, but when they've all swapped bodies and they're in the mirror. And I feel bad. I feel bad for Jamie Lee Curtis the most. She got shit on for her age the most. Lindsay Lohan, she's like, Lindsay Lohan's. It was like, also, I concur. Bad knees. No matter like past 30, everyone's got the bad knees.
I love that part towards I think the middle endish of the movie.
Yeah,
where swap body, Jamie Lee Curtis, what is it, Sophia, right? She's trying to get up and she goes,
my brain is telling my knees to get up. I'm doing it again. It's not happening though.
it's not happening.
I peed a little. Oh,
Why
man.
do I have to pee?
God, it was so silly. It was so dumb, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I also did like how I think there were a couple moments where I looked over to you and I'm like, October 3rd.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I was so surprised about like other Lindsay Lohan movie references. I'm
Yes.
surprised they didn't have a fucking Herbie the Love Bug. Did they have a
Oh.
Herbie the Love Bug somewhere back there?
No, I would have loved
I
that.
have to watch it again.
I would have loved that. That would have been like the daughter's car. Like, here's your car to go to
That
school.
would have been so on the nose.
No, but the October 3rd reference where like it's supposed to be her wedding day or whatever. It was,
Mean Girls?
yeah, it was Mean Girls, of course. But the director didn't notice it until Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's-
so it was one of those things where it's like, let's put this thing, and
great.
you're doing everything, and then she's like, are you sure about this stage? She's like, oh, I didn't know you were.
Bullshit. I call
So, yeah.
bullshit.
But the other one was Meredith Blake.
Yeah.
Eliza Hendricks? No,
yeah,
Yeah.
Elaine Hendricks.
Elaine. Oh, I loved her role because she just fits that small, all her characters she plays just always like that.
Oh, snippy, snooty.
Yeah, I loved it, but I loved having that there. I was like, am I gonna get another Parent Trap in here?
How would you even do that?
I don't know, like the nanny from Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's given like a role, like in a small role or
Let's not
something.
get too crazy. I mean, Lindsay
don't
Lohan
know.
hadn't really, this is like the thing she came out of retirement for.
Well, she's done some like Hallmark movies.
I wouldn't admit that.
She did some like not Hallmark, like Netflix Christmas movies and stuff like that.
Still wouldn't admit it.
Yeah, but this is like the big one that did have her coming back and wanting her to come back.
Yeah.
And finally continue with her passion. But also, I loved how they throughout this whole thing they surrounded her with all the people that did believe in her to do something.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. And then just to quickly wrap it up before we move on to Weapons, the blooper reels are back.
Yeah,
I love
loved
me
it.
a blooper reel.
Oh my god, I loved it.
I want a blooper reel for every comedy.
Oh yeah.
It just goes to show like they had a ton of fun. Like it came through in the actual movie itself. So it's a little extra cherry on top to see it in the credits.
Also, side note for the Pink Slip
Band.
performance at the end, the crowd seemed a little bit not so
It was a CG crowd. I don't know what to tell
not so hype about it. There are some people I'm just like, you could be jumping.
You're
Why
like-
am I not there?
You're like, I would have risked busting my knees jumping up and down.
I
I
would-
peed a little.
Yeah, I would have peed a little doing that. Yeah, definitely. Let's go. Put me in there.
Oh yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Go see that movie. I mean, obviously,
Chad McNamara for sure.
I've already relinquished my man card. But I think what is so cool about this movie, by the way, is it's how many years? 22 years. People typically in our age have already have kids in their like 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe, which is roughly around the same age that we've all seen the movie when we were younger. So it's like you can introduce your kid to your childhood in this way.
Definitely, 100%.
That's so awesome. Seriously.
Yeah, so that's why I love that. It's like a very millennial, like elder millennial
Totally.
showing like their gen.
I was just excited
Whatever.
about the Spice Girls
Yeah.
playing.
Oh my god, stop!
All right,
Get outta
moving
here.
on to something more serious and way less silly. Weapons. Here's where I take over. That is directed and written by Zach Kreger. If I pronounced that correctly, you will have known him from coming off of Barbarian. And I need to say this, that we are in a horror renaissance. Okay? With
Bum, bum, bum.
with movies like Bring Her Back, Sinners, I'm probably, forgetting whatever the Philippou brothers have done. I'm forgetting something else, but we are in a horror renaissance. And this, even though this one was like a blend of genres, a little horror, a little thriller, a little mystery, but that's exactly the point. Don't get me wrong, I love my B-level slasher Terrifier movies, but in a renaissance in such a way that we can have a character-driven story. We can have characters drive the story. We can be artsy with how we're telling this thing, and we don't need to rely on the jump scares. We can build a mood, a tone, and an intensity, and lock a crowd in. I mean, full audience watching this movie, and not one fucking peep out of the crowd. And I was so proud of everybody. I don't know if it was because we had a good crowd or because the actual movie was an experience.
I think it was a crowd because I've seen people's Instagram videos or TikToks or whatever where they're like, I went to go see Weapons, but I was the wrong crowd.
Okay.
So I think we just got lucky with seeing it with a good crowd.
Nice. It is starring Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, and Amy Madigan, and it's told in a non-linear chapters, revealing pieces of the puzzle that is the mass disappearance of a classroom of kids, and that's as much as you get in the trailer. So, spoiler alert, we're gonna be talking about some of this shit. And it follows Julia Gardner's character. It follows Josh Brolin's character, Benedict Wong. His character's named Marcus. Some crackhead named James. A ex-love interest named Paul, and then the kid, the last surviving kid named Alex. Now, the thing I love about any kind of art form is you can interpret it in different ways, right? When we walked out of it, we were like, yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I think pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. I guess you can maybe see it as an allegory for trigger words, school shootings.
Yeah.
But the director did say, he goes, no, I didn't mean for any of it to be interpreted that way. Like, just straightforward. It's a mystery, thriller, horror thing. I didn't personally see any kind of deeper meaning, maybe if you want to see how society is, but I just think because of the focus was on so many of the characters that I don't know, I just didn't see it. But then again, I barely have a couple brain cells that function and know how to push this button in order to record, so not really the guy to be speaking on symbolism and whatever. All I know is that it was a very enjoyable movie, that it was intense as hell. I'm holding my breath through most of the scenes. Julia Garner's just fucking a badass, and her ability to play a character who is both afraid and then just a fucking whippersnapper, just a sharp tongue.
Dude, yeah.
We were all introduced to her in Ozarks, and she's got a fucking foul mouth, and so that some of that comes out in this. But when she interacts with the other characters and when she gets to really shine, man, it's so fascinating. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but in a very the movie Crash, those sort of chapters where you then go back to see other people's storylines and how they interconnect.
I loved how they did that. Basically, they gave you here's the base of the story, but then here's individuals that are in there.
The opening of the movie is here's some narrative to just get you up and running.
Here's your basic knowledge of it.
Yeah, and per that line that the kid says in the narration, and here's where the story really starts. A nerd. I love the camera work in this fucking movie. Just certain things that nobody's really going to pick up on, but how the camera's in everybody's face, the movement of the camera. I saw some of the behind the scenes and how some of the shots were acquired.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just a dude on rollerblades and a Steadicam. So many of the energy in some of those shots is so well done. The dream sequences especially are particularly fucking fun and creepy. It's a horror film, but I would say more of a thriller than anything else. This very much like any of the other aforementioned movies I had brought up as far as the horror renaissance. There are no cheap scares. There's some jump scares when they're deserved and when they're earned. In this particular movie, you got some of the jump scares in the dream sequences. Of course, we've all had those fucking. I think I even told my night terror story when we were talking about together. But the bigger fear and horror of it is the gaslighting for some characters. You know, I have found a little fun fact. Speaking of horror, and I don't know if this is true. I think Zach Krager had said this is why he wanted the kids to run like that with their arms sort of splayed out.
Airplane?
Almost like an airplane, right? And you see that on the poster, is because of this photo. I think it's a Vietnam where this girl, again, trigger words. It's a black and white photo, and evidently she was burned from napalm. It's not a graphic photo, but that's the context of it. And her arms are sort of splayed out that way. That's what I believe he says is the inspiration for it. You can double check that one, Alva. It's a poor phrasing, but I like him taking that type of inspiration because it's a horrific imagery. And so that's sort of implemented and integrated in this movie to add this little layer of horror.
I remember there was one day where I was running down the hall and you're like, why are you running like the little kids from Weapons? I was like, I didn't know. It just did it for my balance. So now I'm wondering if
for
those...
my balance.
Look, I'm 30 plus. We got to do something about it.
As mysteries go, there usually is going to be a red herring. And if you're not familiar with what a red herring is, it's basically a misdirect, right? In a movie, if there's something in the scene, if there's a shot, it usually means something. Sometimes it could just be a little misdirect. And that is in the context of the radio towers is a red herring, or the cordyceps, which we're familiar with like The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
The zombifying fungus, or parasites, or the fact that witch was written on Justine's car, those types of misdirects. And you're trying to figure out these little pieces of the puzzle. But when it finally kicks in, when this movie really finally kicks in, is the introduction of Gladys. Actually, no, it kicks in when you see Marcus going fucking haywire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a little spoiler alert there. But then when Gladys, who's played by Amy Madigan, is introduced, which you get glimpses of her in dream sequences, basically. Oh, man. This is up there with Nicolas Cage's character in Longlegs. With like nothing's really grotesque, but it's just something's not right.
Yeah.
Whether it be the wig or just
the makeup.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's contacts and things like that.
It's too eclectic, but like messy and not well put together. It kind of gives it a...
It's just something that's a little off-putting.
Yeah.
And the way that she plays that character, I love the heavy gaslighting that she throws at everybody.
Oh, I love it.
Boy, once it takes that turn, man, it just goes downhill in all the best ways.
I like the movie because it didn't... Usually I can solve like, oh, that's what's happening kind of thing. This one I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, it truly was a mystery.
I couldn't piece it together because with those glimpses of the cordyceps or something, I'm just like, are we going this direction? And then when it finally was all revealed, I'm like, I'm not expecting that.
Here's the thing, though. Like, even though those red herrings, of the radio tower, the cordyceps, and the parasites were all there, they kind of did hit on what was happening. Because the cordyceps, they zombify.
Yeah. She's
zombified. And then the lesson was like parasites on the whiteboard in the back in one of the scenes. And she is a parasite. She's feeding off of everyone else's energy. She's a witch.
Witch.
Yeah. And as far as like radio towers, she's sending out the signal, whatever the magical signal, and weaponizes people and kids and like a homing missile.
Hence weapons.
Yeah. Hence the violence. So, I mean, I love me some good gore. And this movie had it.
I would not mind seeing that again.
I think my favorite chapter, though, is the crackheads. James.
Oh.
I think this movie's also like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
And that's more told so through the eyes of James. It's that little comedic relief because there was so much tension built up through the majority of the movie.
But I like exactly like when they brought him in as the character,
right,
because it broke that tension that I felt like if they would have kept going with it, it probably would have ruined the movie a little bit or taken away from the movie. But this one just added like that breathing room that you needed.
But man, how intense was it though when you got to that final chapter, which was Alex, the kid. His story is really where it mattered. Now, if you were to do, I also wouldn't have minded to see this movie done like a series, like a mini series. I could totally see like Mike Flanagan doing something like this.
Ooh, yeah.
By the way, fun fact. So Zach Krager wrote the script for this right after he did Barbarian, and it almost immediately got picked up. It was like hot for a long minute, and Jordan Peele wanted it.
Ooh.
So much so that when he didn't get it, he fired his like talent managers or agents. Yeah. There was supposed to be, this is some like hot tea, some conflict of interest because his manager was also Zach Krager's manager.
Oh.
Yeah. But he got paid a good amount of money to use the script.
Isaac with the news.
I just saw it the other day, or actually earlier today. But I mean, look at the story. Like, it's like, of course, Jordan Peele's a smart guy.
He saw something in it that he's like,
absolutely. Yeah. So I am, man, it would have been fun to see what his take would have been on it, but I can't see this movie done in any other way. Going back to it, it would have been so fascinating to see this as a series because the movie and the overall story is very straightforward. But, when you chop them up into chapters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, easy 6-episode, 30-minute, character-driven thing, character-centered thing with some mysteries here and there. That would have been real good television.
Yeah. Oh my God. And you can make each character like probably like an hour if you wanted to get a little bit more into it.
Hour would be a stretch.
Like 45.
Yeah, I think, right. I got to think a good 30, 45 stretching maybe. Because in this movie, as far as those chapters are concerned, more of the focus was on Justine and Archer, which is Josh Brolin's character. He's the dad of one of the... Matthew, one of the kids that was had ran off or whatever. But everyone else's are smaller stories. You know, more insignificant than anything else other than just sort of piece some of the mystery together. But to wrap it up, I mean, you know, in a nutshell, it's a fucking fantastic horror film. I can see myself rewatching it and trying to pick up some of those hints and things like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. The ending was satisfying.
100%.
And surprisingly funny, where I didn't expect it to be. I haven't yet settled on whether or not I liked that it was funny.
I'm kind of happy that we were not the only ones laughing at that.
Right?
I picked up some other people laughing too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yes.
It really wasn't a roller coaster of emotions because it went from like satisfying to funny to brutal to then mysterious all over again.
Yeah. Even to where I saw a couple people like do little some jump scares.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they're like the person next to me. Here's the thing, like she was all into the movie, and I don't know if it's because she's like completely into the movie or if she just like, you know, that scene or whatever, you know, when James and he sees like out there, she does a little jump and I'm like, okay.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not expecting it.
No.
And I love that. It didn't get me though.
No.
But
if it did, I wouldn't admit it.
It was more like oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about this movie is you kind of can figure it out pretty quickly, but that's really not the point of it because you're still enjoying it. Like I said in the top, it's an experience. Like a lot of these movies that I mentioned they have all been experiences. You know, everyone's going through something together as you're watching these movies. Just a ton of fun. And that's about it. I don't want to ruin anything else about the movie. I know we spoiled, you know, fuck ton about it, but Jesus, yeah, go see that. There's some movies to go watch. Yeah. All right, now to end the show with our segment that we simply call Why Just Tea Gets Fresh. Every other episode, Alva and I alternate on guessing the Rotten Tomato critic and audience score from 0 to 100, 59 and below being rotten and 60 and above being fresh, as well as giving our own personal rating on the movies aforementioned. Freakier Friday and Weapons, it is my turn to guess.
Ooh, you did it.
I'm getting better at it. I'm learning to slow the hell down.
Okay. Freakier Friday, what do you give it?
I will personally give that movie a 75%. Okay. I mean, you know, it's a Disney film. It's silly, like I mentioned, but it earns a fresh rating just because of those surprisingly emotional parts.
Okay. Critics?
Although Manny Jacinto's accent kept going in and out.
Yeah. Critics?
Critics, I think, gave it 70%, and I think audience loved it at 80%.
Okay. You go with the critics, 72.
All right.
Audience is 93.
Oh.
But I can see why, because you are bringing, especially like...
Yeah.
I was really excited. So you're kind of really bringing those 2,000...
I underestimated the audience.
I
underestimated the audience.
Yeah. Weapons,
I will give that at 85%. I wanted to rate it higher, but for me, I just don't feel like there was anything more layered than that. I feel like it was just very straightforward.
Interesting.
In some of these chapter like movies, when you go into other people's storylines, sometimes you can sort of skew the story because it's their perspective, you know, their take on it. You know, an untrusted opinion. But it was pretty straightforward, you know, so I would give it the 85%.
Okay.
And I feel like for horror, I feel like pretty fucking solid.
Okay.
I think critics gave it an 80%, and I think that the audience enjoyed it at 89%.
You are more with the audience on this one. Critics gave it a 95.
No shit.
But I kind of see where they're going with this because I do like here's your plot, and then here's the characters, and just
critics love a good character driven thing because we don't have a lot of that shit lately.
Yeah. So I think it was a new take for them, and it just like,
It was audience.
87.
Huh. All right.
Which is kind of weird because recently I've been seeing a lot of posts where like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, I don't believe these anymore because none of this is 100%.
No, but I've since from that time, people get their hands on reviewing it, and then it gets dropped down. But yeah, there you have it. There it is. Yeah, that thing gets fresh. Man, we've been watching some fucking banger of some movies. Seriously,
Banger.
What's coming out? Upcoming, coming soon on YHST
to a theater near you. Next is Nobody 2. What comes out this?
We might skip that one.
Then at the end of the month is the Caught Stealing with
Caught Stealing. I do want to watch.
Austin Butler and Matt Smith. I really want to watch that one. Yeah.
I can see us doing an episode on that. Like I said before, I really want to get on back to the YHST list. Like I've been missing that, breaking stuff down.
I think that is kind of what is it for August. I don't really see anything that's really popping out.
Good. No, I'm happy about that because I've been dying to get back to the list. So cool. Alrighty then, and let's go and close the episode out then.
Do it.
Thank you everybody for listening. Once again, we appreciate everybody. The night is late. The hour is late. You can hear the sleepiness in my voice. That's what we get for doing back-to-back episodes.
Back to back.
I got gassed out. It's gonna come together in the edit, but behind the scenes, I got gassed out. Still, watch these movies. They've been a ton of fun. I mean, man, I sometimes get into rotten moods sometimes. And watching movies distracts me enough to kind of pull my head out of my butt and learn some lessons. Like, I want to be wherever my sister is.
Oh my God, me too.
And I appreciate the community that we've built, the film community that is the YHST people. So shout out in the comments, shout out in the DMs, like our stuff, share our stuff, and let us know what movies are on your growing list of films that has people asking you the question. You haven't seen that? Love everybody. Follow us at YHST on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Okay, YHST Pod. Okay, bye.
I go Mimi's now. YHST was filmed in front of a live studio audience.